Coming up on this episode of DL Weekly, Ken Podrock talks about all the new things happening at the resort, more halfway to Halloween announcements.
More entertainment has returned, Fantasmic has showtimes, producers Vern and James talk about Star Wars for May the 4th, and so much more. DL Weekly starts now.
This is your captain speaking to you from the wheelhouse. I'd like to welcome all of you aboard the DL Weekly podcast. For safe passage on our trip, please do not sit or climb on the outside railings. And be sure to watch your children. The water can be unpredictable in these parts, and we'd sure hate to lose any of you.
Well, hello and welcome to this episode of DL Weekly for the week of May 4th, 2022. I'm Tig Bushman.
And I'm Teresa Urban. Thank you to Bill S. for becoming an official weekly tier on our Patreon, and also to Michael C. for increasing your support. Our supporters get some pretty fun perks like DL Weekly swag, bonus content, and access to our Discord community. If you would like some more Disney magic in your day, head on over to dlweekly.net/support to join the community. Also, just a note, if you are an AP and above supporter, our April bonus episode did just drop. You can listen to that on Patreon, so go ahead and check that out.
Well, it's that time again for our friend Eric over at Concierge to catch us up on other Disney news.
Hello, everyone. This is Eric Johnson with Concierge, and welcome to the D180. While Tig and Teresa cover all things Disneyland, in the D180 we take a spin around the rest of the Disney universe, and we do it in 180 seconds. Let's jump right in. We begin our adventure in the open seas because we are all in on cruises right now. Disney Cruises this September and October will return to hosting their Halloween on the High Seas nights this year. Think the Halloween parties in the parks, but without all the crowds. Also, you're on a boat. As usual, there will be themed decorations and plenty of candy to go around. Your favorite Disney characters will be in costumes, but for the first time, we will see Minnie Mouse, Daisy Duck, and Clarabelle Cow as the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus. I didn't need to tell you which movie they're from. You totally got that reference. After all, the sequel is coming to Disney Plus this fall. These Halloween nights feature costume parties for guests and even costume contests for adults. Every night, Halloween movies play on the deck. Special food and drink items pop up all around the ships, just like in the parks. In the Grand Hall of each ship, enjoy a take on a Disneyland tradition. The pumpkin tree is a Halloween on the High Seas staple. This sculpture features lights and jack-o'-lanterns, much like Disneyland's Halloween tree. The Halloween tree in Disneyland is, of course, that reference to Ray Bradbury's novel of the same name. In 2007, on the 35th anniversary of his novel, Ray was invited to dedicate the now annual tribute that stands outside the Golden Horseshoe Saloon. The novel follows children looking for a lost friend who end up learning about the history of Halloween. The pumpkin trees on Disney cruise ships might not be so proactive in teaching kids about Halloween, so you might want to bring along a copy of Ray's book just in case. I'll save the Paul Harvey reference this week. Disney cruises are going strong, but there are still some spots open in 2022. Sail to the Bahamas and the Caribbean from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Galveston, Texas, and New York. Visit New Brunswick and Halifax, Canada from the New York port. Or head to the Baja Peninsula from San Diego. There are plenty of options for those looking to cruise through the rest of 2022. Those looking further ahead will be excited by the new sailings in 2023. The Disney Dream will spend summer days touring the Mediterranean and the fall exploring the coastline from Spain to Skjold, Norway. The Disney Wonder brings its guests from Western Canada to Alaska next summer. There are plenty of excursions to the Bahamas and the Caribbean on the Disney Fantasy, Disney Dream, and the still pretty new Disney Wish. These ships are your conveyance to Disney's private island in Castaway Cay. All of these 2023 itineraries open up on May 9th, so get in touch with your favorite concierge ASAP. There's so much to see at... that I think it's all I'll talk about this week. If you're ready to take a cruise, it sure looks like Disney is ready to give you options. And that's 180 seconds. I hope you enjoyed our quick spin around the rest of the Disney universe. If you would like to learn more about these Disney adventures or just have a few questions, please come on over. Visit the social media and websites of both DL Weekly and us. They're official travel planners concierge. We look forward to planning something special for you and your family. I'm Eric Johnson, and this has been your D180.
Well, thanks, Eric, for that great amount of information from all the rest of the Disney universe.
Now let's get to the news.
An update is coming to the latest themed Disney hotels on property soon. The Paradise Pier Hotel will be rethemed to Pixar. Disneyland Resort President Ken Potrock met with community leaders recently, talking about exciting changes coming to the resort, and this was one of the previously unannounced updates. The Pixar theme will change over time as new Disney Pixar movies come out to keep the hotel fresh for guests.
The Pixar Pier Hotel has kind of been, I'm going to be real honest, I forget that it's a Disney hotel. It's not as exciting to me as like the Disneyland Hotel or the Grand Californian Hotel. However, the concept artwork that they shared for this makes me very excited about it. It's kind of got like this mid-century modern vibe going on the front. There's the Pixar ball out in front too. But the thing that looks beautiful is what the entrance is going to look like. They've got these really like colorful mobiles that have different kind of abstract versions of some of your favorite Pixar characters that just look so fun. Of course, there is also a Pixar ball with the Luxo lamp balancing on top of it, but these mobiles are like super catching my eye.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're finally doing something with this. I listened to a couple of our news stories actually talk about this, but Ken Potrock was on the D23 Insider podcast, and I was able to listen to that today, where he talks about a lot of things. In fact, he was on right before Disneyland Resort reopened, and he apparently had dropped some spoilers that he got in trouble for because it was beforehand. So he dropped some little things like that during this interview as well. But anyway, so he talked about some of the cool things coming there, like the pool's getting refurbished, and they're going to add a lot of Disney touches. Some of the things that they're exciting to talk about, since we're talking about hotels, is the fact that they are adding, for room service, you can call and order food from anywhere in downtown Disney, and they will soon be able to deliver that to your room. But he's trying to bring all these like plus to things that he says only Disney can do. So like having room service stuff from the downtown Disney stuff. Yeah. Again, bringing back that you can buy stuff in the parks and have it brought to your rooms. The entrance that we talked about before. So I do like the idea that it's going to be Pixar. Of course, it'll be themed with the Pixar Pier, but they said they have not decided on a name for the hotel yet. I'm curious to see what they'll come up with for a name, because I don't know. It's easy to just say like things like, Avengers Land or
Star Wars Land or whatever. So I'm curious to see. So same thing with the Pixar Hotel. So yeah, I'm curious to see what interesting thing they do come up with. One thing that I want to mention that I think is exciting about this too is they're going to try and keep this hotel fresh. And so as we get new Pixar characters, those new characters will be appearing in the hotel. So I think that's really fun, kind of like what they're doing now at the resort in the parks, with Marvel characters. We're almost seeing Marvel characters before the episode airs, if not before you get a chance to watch it. That's how fast they have these characters out there. I mean, we met Mirabelle before before Encanto actually was out. So I think it's really exciting that they're doing this.
I'm interested to see what they will update. Like, are they going to make new rooms? Because that'd be easy to do. They could close off 5 or 6 rooms to do the new movie theme or something. Or are they going to just do swap out pieces of things? I don't know.
I was thinking more lobby decor stuff, or maybe they'd have character meet and greets that they were going to flip through or something. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Themed rooms would be cool though, because you could that'd be a way to just kind of keep everything fresh. Because a lot of times, hotels and stuff, when they do remodels, they have to do the whole thing, or they do a whole building at a time. They could do this a little bit at a time. It would actually be more economical over time, and everybody, of course, will want to book the new room. Because I mean, come on, wouldn't you want to stay in a Lightyear room that's coming out or something? I think it'd be cool.
One last thing that I have to mention that came up in our Discord chat, our friends Chris and Ruben were talking about, they need a restaurant. And they were talking about, how we've got, which our next story is, new restaurants coming to downtown Disney. And wouldn't it be so cool if we got a sushi restaurant or something? And they came up with the idea of the Pixar Hotel Monsters needs Harryhausen's from Monsters Inc. How brilliant. Absolute. I mean, that would be so perfect and so fun.
It would be.
super big missed opportunity. You heard it here first from our friends
do they have
Ruben and
hibachi?
Chris.
Is Harryhausen's like hibachi?
Yeah, like the octopus is doing like,
So
I don't know if
hibachi's-
he's a hibachi chef or a sushi chef.
Well, hibachi is already pretty cool. So if they did like Disney hibachi, that'd be super cool.
I think it'd be so
They
amazing.
could have animatronic creatures.
Yes, they could have they could have monsters. Oh man, it'd be so cool.
Well,
so cool.
Let's talk about the next part.
Speaking of restaurants, the updated hotel theme wasn't the only thing Ken talked about. He revealed more details of what is to come at Downtown Disney. In the interview on the D23 Insider podcast, he said that they are looking at Downtown Disney through the lens of Disney Springs out in Florida and how successful that has been. More diverse options are coming with the addition of Din Tai Fung, a Chinese cuisine restaurant, along with Catal and Uva Bar being transformed into a hub of Mexican cuisine with Michelin star chef Carlos Gayton. Finally, Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen will be getting a complete overhaul into a more vibrant California energy theme. Oh, and by the way, Earl of Sandwich will be returning as a pop-up location later this year.
Oh, yes.
That was the best news. I mean, everything was exciting, but when that came, I was like,
Okay, I'll try to be brief because I have thoughts.
I have thoughts too.
So
yes.
I'll start with the easy one. I do not like the concept art for Ralph Brennan's. They got rid of all of the cool New Orleans kind of idea.
Yeah,
But Ken Potrock on the podcast was talking about like Ralph Brennan's is very excited to be able to renovate their location, and I'm sure that they need like some work done on the actual facility. But for me, one of the things that makes me want to eat there is that it looks like it's New Orleans.
It's fun.
Yeah. I have not eaten there. You have.
It's fun.
Yeah. And I know that some of our supporters in the weekly tiers we've seen eat there. The other thing that got me was Ken said he was really excited about this Michelin star chef and all this stuff. And all I was thinking was one of the things that I found not great about Downtown Disney
or Disney Springs.
Downtown Disney is affordable dining locations.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna have a Michelin star person, it's gonna be like higher end. And then for some reason my brain and I don't know why my brain went there, but my brain went to, oh good, this is for like the super rich, like exclusive people, and they're trying to make it like, I'm like, it's a theme park, people. Put some like Earl of Sandwich like things there. He did say that the Earl of Sandwich is so popular that he knows that it has to be there because people are very passionate about it.
Yeah.
So he said he also likes Earl of Sandwich, but they're very happy to have Earl of Sandwich as part of the thing in this pop-up location. And I'm sure that it's going to be part of when they get done building that whole area. But what do you think of all this?
I'm really, really excited about the dumpling restaurant that's coming. Din Tai Fung. I didn't know that this had existed before, so I had to look it up, but it's very popular. So one thing that some people online are a little nervous about is it's incredibly popular in, just random locations. So they feel like it's gonna be really difficult to get a table and to get a reservation if it comes to Downtown Disney. But I think it's fun. I think it's different. So Ruben was telling us about the other location close by in Costa Mesa, and I was like, I need to try and figure out how to get there. The photo just like makes my mouth just water that they put on the Disney Parks blog. I'm very, very excited about this. I do think it might be difficult to get a reservation at first since it is already so popular, but I think it's going to be a wonderful addition. And I love having all sorts of fun options and having things that are like more special and unique and very exciting. We don't just want burgers. We don't just want pizza. That's boring. Like, I love that we've got options. I just love it.
I do like that we have options. Again, I just get worried that families, like this type of restaurant, I don't know. I don't know anything about this restaurant, but like the Michelin star thing, it's going to be like upscale Mexican and stuff.
I was a little surprised that they were going to have another Mexican restaurant come in since we have Tortilla Joe's and it's very, very popular.
Owned by the same company, by the way.
Yep, same company. But, Michelin star versus, I feel like Tortilla Joe's is more casual than what it would be. So I also didn't know that Catal was going. I've never eaten at Catal, so I don't know much. I can't say much about it, nor have I had anything at Uva.
I saw comments online that said that of all of the establishments in Downtown Disney, they were the ones that were like the least popular.
Yeah, that's what I
And I
noticed,
think
too.
it's just because like, I don't know, I never knew anything about it, and they didn't have anything that like drew me in. I like the idea of the bar in the middle of the section, but to me, it just seemed like a bar. Like I wasn't ever gonna, because I don't drink that much. Like I would love to sit there and eat something and be in the middle of everything.
I don't know if they did appetizers or what there. But anyways, very exciting that we got more of a sneak peek. The other thing that I want to talk about with Downtown Disney stuff is we got more concept art too. Of course, we're going to have a link in our show notes about the concept art, but it shows just skip over the Jazz Kitchen one because that one's a little sad. So pretend you didn't see that. I feel like the Jazz Kitchen concept art can't be what it will actually be in reality because it could be a Dunkin' Donuts. It could be, I mean, you could plug anything into this building.
Teresa, it's vibrant California energy.
Yeah, but it's not my thing.
I don't like it
But
either.
the thing that I'm really excited about is they showed like what the new entrance is going to be. So the little sign, the little Disneyland sign that's blue, it says Disneyland, and kind of have these little like fun streamery things coming out the side. That is actually going away, and they have a different looking entrance. Tons of color. I love the pops of color from all of the different plants that they've got. They've got this big, I don't know, shaded archway type thing, and then a fun little Downtown Disney like sign on the wall. Some people have pointed out that they do have what appears to be turnstiles in the entrance photo here, so that's interesting. That may just be something, a counting thing instead of just having it open so they can, figure out capacity and stuff. I don't think it's going to be ticketed to get into Downtown Disney.
Oh, that'd be weird.
But I think it's more of a just probably counting to figure out how many people are there. But yeah, I was really excited about the concept art. I really like this. I like the overall aesthetic that they're going for. Who doesn't love mid-century modern?
Well, last week we talked about the Halfway to Halloween celebration. Disneyland announced some information on what the spooky holiday will look like this year. The Oogie Boogie Bash will be returning on select nights this fall with no firm dates announced yet. Mickey and Minnie will be sporting new outfits this year, showing off their trick-or-treating attire.
Very exciting.
Did they change their attire last year?
Yeah, I think for Christmas they did. For like the holiday time they did. They had different winter outfits. I think they had the same Halloween outfits though.
Gotcha.
They're fun. They're cute. They're supposed to look more, homemade. So I'm interested to see, like Minnie's like this witch cat thing, and I guess Mickey's more of a he's like a jack-o'-lantern, I suppose.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, they're fun. I was really hoping for Oogie Boogie Bash dates. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get any dates released.
Do you think that they're going to go early like Disney World? Because Disney World starts in like August.
I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to go quite that early. And if they were going to go that early, they would have needed to already tell everyone those dates, because Disney World did announce their dates. I do want to take just a side step on other fun Halloween news that was released. I about fell over when I saw the graphic that is the costumes coming to the Disney Cruise Lines. We have Minnie, Daisy, and Clarabelle dressed as the Sanderson sisters.
I also almost died.
I almost fell over, and I feel like I need to go on a cruise just so I can experience those those girls in their fabulous Sanderson sisters costumes. They are like they're so good. They're so good.
Do you know what we should do? You're probably not going to like this, but this is what I think we should do. I think we should plan a trip to Disney World, because I want to see the Sanderson sisters like stage show that they have in front of the castles.
That stage show is, yeah.
So I would love to go to a Halloween party in Disney World.
I only want to see the Sanderson sisters. I feel like our Halloween party is better than their Halloween party.
Probably, but the Sanderson sisters.
But yeah, the Sanderson sisters show is.
They should bring that show to the Hyperion.
They just need to bring all of that to Disneyland. That's what they got to do.
the characters from the cruise ship.
Yep.
But see, what they're doing is working, because you want to go on a cruise now, and I want to go to Disney World. So it's just getting all of us.
They're doing. It's intentional for sure. It's intentional. Well, even more entertainment is back at Disneyland. Last week, Disneyland's Royal Theater in Fantasyland resumed storytelling of Beauty and the Beast and Tangled. Currently, there are 6 total showtimes, with 3 showtimes each for Tangled and Beauty and the Beast. As of the writing of this story, the times are not in the Disneyland app since it is a soft reopening. However, if you go past the theater, they do have the showtimes posted there.
I'm very excited for this. I have never actually seen any of these, and I really want to make a point to go see one of these when we're there later this month, like a little over a week from now.
Crazy. Just crazy. I'm so excited because, I mean, it's very exciting that we have nighttime entertainment, but the fact that we're getting more of this daytime entertainment as well. The other thing, too, that Ken had talked about, There was some sort of meeting that he shared some of these announcements at, and they had Tales of the Lion King. Is that what it's called? They did show like a number or 2 from Tales of the Lion King that will be making its debut over at the Fantasyland. No, not the Fantasyland.
Fantasyland Theater.
Is that what? No.
The one in the back, right?
Oh, that's confusing. You've got the Fantasy Fair. Okay. So that will be coming to the Fantasyland Theater hopefully soon. It does look like they are doing some work to the stage and to get all that set up and prepared for that.
On that D23 podcast, Ken Potrock said something that I'm intrigued by.
Oh.
He said that this stage show that they're putting in the Fantasyland Theater is the biggest, most advanced show that they've put in there. And he stopped short of ever, but just put in there. And I'm like, I don't know. Mickey the Magical Map was pretty cool. Some of the other stuff I've seen in there. So
wow.
I wonder if there's something a little extra. He was skirting around a bunch of stuff because it sounds like they've got big plans for a lot of things, but they just haven't talked about a lot of them yet.
Oh, tell us your plans, Ken.
Right?
Tell us your plans.
We have been eagerly awaiting the return of Fantasmic since the park's closed, let's be honest. But we finally have showtimes on May 28th. The Nighttime Spectacular will run at 9 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. and should run nightly through the summer season.
This is, I mean, it's not really big news, but I thought it was newsworthy that we're getting so close. So close.
We're going to miss it by 2 weeks.
But that's fine. I'm just going to be happy because Fantasmic will be a thing again, and it will be there for our next trip. It just makes me so happy. I feel like we're going to have to give a little bit of leeway to Murphy because she took a very, very long nap. I think she's going to be a little grumpy when she first comes out. So I do think it might be a little bit of a bumpy start back for Fantasmic.
It's not going to happen, but I keep hoping that they'll do like a soft open to try to like do stuff while we're there.
I don't know if it'll be that many weeks, but yeah. But I mean, one can hope. You never know.
I also want to say before we move on, because it's not in our news, but big rumors this week that D23 will be a Tomorrowland refurb announcement, which would be amazing. I mean, that
would be amazing, but rumors. It's total rumors at this point.
I just wanted to mention it.
I'm not holding my breath.
Something's got to be coming, right?
Yeah, they won't do anything for a little while, though, and I think it'll happen in like stages, because I think cutting off, like Space Mountain and Star Tours at the same time, those are both fairly popular attractions. So I almost wonder if they do the first half and then the second half.
I mean, that would make sense. I did see
it is a big space.
I did see a Reddit thread this week in the Disneyland subreddit that was asking people what their favorite and least favorite attractions were. And I don't know why I was surprised by this, but it seemed like the consensus was the subs was everybody's least favorite attraction at Disneyland.
Wow.
And Mickey's Death Wheel, everybody called it in California Adventure. I was like, there's
don't
this.
Go on the scary. Yeah,
there's what's
side.
The stupid silver thing or the that hasn't the light bulbs haven't been replaced in like 1,000. Golden Zephyr.
Yeah, Zephyr.
The Zephyr, I think arguably is the worst attraction.
I think that's the one attraction I have not actually experienced at the parks. The Golden Zephyr.
It's kind of terrifying.
I've never done it. I don't know why. Probably because it is kind of slightly terrifying.
Yeah, but anyway, let's hope. Speaking of Tomorrowland.
Well, another dining package has returned to Disneyland with the return of the Disneyland Forever fireworks show. The Tomorrowland Skyline Lounge experience is coming back soon. Guests get a choice of an entree with side, dessert selection, unlimited soft drinks, bottled water, or hot chocolate, and a good view to see the fireworks from the second floor of Star Wars Launch Bay. The dining package is $60 and non-refundable if the fireworks are canceled.
Which, Mice Chat said, be forewarned, because they do get canceled fairly frequently with the wind and everything. So, I don't know, $60 depending on what the entree, side, and dessert and drinks are. I mean, maybe $60. I mean, obviously you're there to see the fireworks. But I feel like if we ever were to go the Blue Bayou dining package and Fantasmic was canceled, I'd still be happy that we had the dinner thing. Like, I wouldn't want a refund. So, I don't know. I wasn't that excited about this before. What do you think the view is like from here? I feel like it's not.
No, I'm intrigued by this because I somehow didn't realize that this was an offering for the longest time. It used to just be desserts. So it used to just be a dessert package thing. So the fact that it's now a meal as well. I don't know. I think I would do it. I would try it out just to experience it. We do not know what the menu is going to be. So even though it does say that there's an entree, we don't know what that looks like. You know, I'm hoping it's got to be more than a peanut butter jelly sandwich, right?
I hope so. Are they? So do you think they're like? Do you go up there and they serve this to you there?
Yeah.
What kitchen is it coming out of? I've got so many questions.
Disney magic, Tag. It is Disney.
I've got so many questions. You know what would be really cool? It would be cool to have a dining package like this. Or even like a World of Color one, where they'll put you like the dessert package, where they put you at a table. It'd be so cool if I don't know logistically how this would work, but it'd be so cool if you could order anything from anywhere in the park and they would bring it to you, like as your meal. So like you go and sit up there in Tomorrowland, you're like, you know what? I want the chicken dinner from Plaza Inn, or I want the thing from Jolly Holiday, or I want a Bengal barbecue skewer. That would be so cool.
You know what they would need? A teleporter.
Well, I mean, you have been working on that for a while. We have been lamenting the loss of the trees from the Pirates of the Caribbean queue that were taken out a few weeks ago. Good news! 2 new trees, which look to be at least somewhat mature, have been replanted in the space.
I was endlessly excited when I came across this bit of news a couple of days ago, because I mean, man, I feel like, again, I'm trying to withhold judgment, but what makes this area of the park so special is the charm that New Orleans Square has. And I also love the trees, the planters, all of that. Like, that's what makes New Orleans Square so special. So I understood why, but it was very sad that we had to lose those 2 big, beautiful trees in the Pirates queue. So I am endlessly happy that they were able to replant them. And like Tag said, that they are not just kind of like, you know, tiny little trees that you buy that we get to like plant. And no, they look quite large. So, and they look beautiful. I don't know what type of trees they are, but they have a unique leaf shape on them. They look, I mean, maybe they're flowering. I don't know. We'll soon see. But I was very, very excited. I was very emotionally invested in these trees. So I was very, very happy.
I do think it's funny how invested a lot of people were with these trees.
Like I said, it's what makes this area so special and so charming and just so sweet, is all of these details. And that's what makes me a little afraid with some of the repaving that they've done, because I feel like we've lost some of that. I'm trying to withhold judgment until I see it for myself in person. But I mean, New Orleans Square is just magical. It's just got its own type of magic. Well, last weekend, the Disney Junior Fun Fest took place at Disney California Adventure. It was a one-day event on Friday, which started with a parade from Pixar Pier to the Hollywood Pictures backlot. A stage was set up in the World of Color viewing area where different Disney Junior characters performed for guests and invited media and influencers.
I don't really know anything about this particular event. I'm sure the little kids loved it.
Well, I'm sure it was, right? It's all Disney Junior fun stuff. Maybe we missed this. This was something that wasn't on our radar. No. I didn't know that this was going to be happening. So it was kind of like an exciting, like, oh wow, look, this happened. And it's not like this was just a last minute throw together thing. Oh no, like they had its own specific stage. They actually brought Main Street vehicles over with all sorts of fun, funky balloons to have all of the different characters on. It looked like quite the to-do. Quite the like colorful fun thing.
My biggest question with all of this was the World of Color was premiering that time, and they had this theater, so they must have like taken this all down quickly after this to get it situated. So good on the technical cast members that are good at doing that stuff.
The one cool thing was the omnibus was there with characters on the top thing, but they also had a group of Make-A-Wish kids on the bottom section because Disneyland just began granting wishes to Make-A-Wish families again on Friday. So I thought, I mean, the festival and all that was fun, but the coolest bit of news for me was that wishes are now being granted again at Disneyland. I think that's really magical and really special.
Yeah, that's really great that they're back. I mean, of course, with a pandemic, you don't want to have these poor kids there or whatever. So awesome. Well, banana fans, rejoice. Are you a banana fan? Do you like banana?
I'm excited. I am oddly excited about these.
Well, you get oddly excited about a lot of things.
I do.
A new Mickey-shaped beignet has come to the Mint Julep bar for guests to enjoy. This time, the beignet is being rolled in a banana-flavored powdered sugar. A 3-pack is $5.49, a 6-pack is $8.99. Guests can purchase a side of caramel creme anglaise dipping sauce to go along with it for 99 cents. The Disney food blog reports that they taste just like banana Laffy Taffy. Along with the beignet, a passion fruit mint julep is also available for $5.49.
First of all, I'm excited because I feel like the passion fruit mint julep has been there for a little while, and I thought I missed out because I think that's what they had when we were there in March, but I never made it over there. I kind of forgot. So I'm excited to try the passion fruit mint julep for sure. The Disney food blog did report that was quite tasty. But I don't know what it is. Never would I have thought like just a banana flavored beignet would be super exciting. I know they've had bananas Foster ones before, but something about this. This is on my list of things to try when we're there in a couple weeks.
The problem for me with banana in general is I like bananas.
You don't like banana flavoring.
But the flavoring always seems like off, first of all, and it seems like it overpowers like anything you put it with. So that's my concern is I like beignets. I don't want especially like the Laffy Taffy banana. I can taste that in my mouth just thinking about it. And it's just too much banana for me.
I like banana Laffy Taffy. So maybe that's why
you will love this. You could get a 3-pack and I'll get something else. Although this caramel creme anglaise, I think sounds really good.
You got to try at least one. Well, the day this episode posts is May the 4th, an annual celebration for Star Wars fans, playing off the date as May the Force. Disneyland will have some special food items to celebrate. Oh man, do they ever have special food items to celebrate. The thing, I mean, it's crazy to me that there's an entire foodie guide that they put out just for all of the food that they're going to have. Not only are they having special foods just for normal park guests, but there's a whole separate menu that's specific to the Star Wars after-hour events of all sorts of different foods for that,
which is happening the night that this posts and on the 27th of this month. Now, some of these...
So it's happening tonight as we record, tomorrow as this posts, and then also on the 27th.
Yeah. But people aren't going to care about the 3rd. It's already happened.
Yeah, that menu, I seriously can't wrap my head around how many offerings there are because you couldn't possibly eat all of it if you tried.
I'm just looking at some of these things and I love... So the first one here is from... is this... Vintian Mineral Mousse, which reminds me of the stuff that they serve in Pandora that I think look beautiful and nice. It's that same kind of idea. The same thing with this Ishi Tib style pasta with braised beef bantha, which is a beef pasta roast, coconut curry sauce pasta, and mixed vegetables, which also sounds very good. I've heard that it was a good portion size and tasted good from people that have reviewed it. So, but there's so some of these things on the foodie guide have dates that they'll be there till, and some they don't have dates at all.
Yeah.
So who knows how long some of these will be sticking around. So if you're there and it's available, get it while you can, basically.
The milk stand will be offering a chocolate chip sweet sand cookie. I think it's perfect that the milk stand now has cookies as well. The milk and cookie stand.
Yeah. It's a toffee cookie. Oh.
Yep, chocolate chip toffee cookie topped with pistachios and sea salt.
That sounds good.
It looks... we might have to try that one with a big old glass of water because it looks very sweet and very rich.
This 5 Blossom bread looks good. What is it? It's a warm pretzel knot with Hawaiian black sea salt served with honey mustard cream foam and Calabrian cheese sauce. That sounds very good.
Yep, that can be found over at Oga's. You name it, I swear they have it. Galactic Grill, this looks really interesting. It reminds me of the Cosmic Cream Orbs, but they have a parfait of Mustafar. It's a chocolate lava cake, chocolate ganache, and a red pot of choux filled with salted caramel pudding and red chocolate mousse, but the top looks like the chocolate cream orb does.
It does. Oh, these macarons in downtown Disney also look really good.
Did you see that they have... Grogu's macaron is one of the snacks that you can get at Star Wars night.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we can get it during the day too. I don't know, but for sure it's like one of the party foods.
These Galaxy Caramel Macaron sounds good. Satisfy 2 cravings at once with sea salt caramel with white chocolate ganache. What? That is like a sushi thing too. Man, there is all types of... There's Galaxy Roll. Fresh salmon, cucumber, and avocado rolled in soy paper topped with steamed shrimp and ahi tuna drizzled with spicy kimchi ponzu sauce.
So the other thing, if you're feeling overwhelmed with food choices, as I am, because there's just so many. One thing you need to make sure you do is go to the Grand Californian Hotel. We talked about this last week, but they have this amazing display, which is kind of like the mountain range of Batu with the Falcon kind of front and center there. And I want to give a shout out to weekly tier Nick S, who actually went and took some really great photos of it and took all these really close-up photos. The details that he captured that are on this thing are incredible. I can't wait to see this in person. Wow. I think this is something you don't want to miss. Anytime that they do these special displays where they somehow create these works of art out of like Rice Krispie treats and like sugar and eggs and whatever, it blows my mind. And this is no exception.
I'm just looking at some of these. Oh my goodness, is that Dark Side Chocolate Creation?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it looks like Darth Maul's skin or his top of his head with like the spikes and everything.
Yep.
It's a malted milk chocolate mousse dome with raspberry mousse filling, slivered almonds, and chocolate shortbread cookie. Oh my goodness! All of this looks so good.
The food is just, the food offerings is just crazy. Now you're
lightsaber eclairs.
Yeah, you're in Disney Springs
but
now,
still,
though. Yeah.
Woo. That's something, guys. That's something.
We're very excited to hear your stories and see your photos if you were able to experience one of the Star Wars after dark events. We had tickets, but with how the wedding, the timing of the wedding and the timing of everything, we unfortunately had to get a refund for our tickets. But man, we feel like we're missing out. This looks like it's going to be one heck of a party.
Psst, avast there. You come seeking questions and long-lost Disney information, eh? Sure, you come to the proper place. But keep a weather eye open, mates, and hold on tight. With both hands, if you please. There be squalls ahead, and James and Vern waiting for them what don't answer correctly.
Well, hello and welcome to Trivia Land. Hope you're ready for a lot of me today. But I got some great questions for you. I hope you two are ready.
As long as they're not Star Wars themed, I'm feeling all right.
They might be Star Wars themed.
I'm letting you off the hook. They are not Star Wars themed.
I feel like you've missed quite the opportunity, producer
of
James.
stumping us, yeah.
Probably, but that's okay. Our first question is actually a continuation of the last question from last episode. So from listener Andy M. In the Haunted Mansion stretching room, one of the portraits shows a widow mourning over the headstone of her husband. What's his name?
Oh, no. Oh, man. George? I think it's George. I'm pretty sure it's George.
George, don't be looking at Alex's thing. Alex.
Oh, did Alex say? Well, that's feeling really confident.
You said George, and then in my brain, because I did the puzzle sets, so I was like, I think it is George. Because isn't there was like a funny thing with the name. Anyway, whatever.
Question 2. Where are 2 places in Disney California Adventure you can find a periodic table?
Web Slingers, probably in the pre-room with Tom Holland in it.
Oh, I thought there was one in the queue.
It might be in the queue.
We'll just, do we have to be specific or say web?
No, I'm good with just distractions.
Okay, Web Slingers.
And then, let me think, periodic table.
And this is now, right?
I saw it on our last trip.
Okay, because I was thinking like maybe it would have been something with like the Muppet Vision 3D because there was like sciencey stuff with that.
Ooh, that would have been a good guess.
Yeah. Where else is all sciencey?
The only thing I can think is Toy Story Midway Mania. And I don't know why that comes to mind, but
like in a bedroom or something?
Yeah.
Huh, periodic table.
It's not in PIM. No.
Are they okay? You're not going to tell me, but are they both in the same land?
No.
Okay, so somewhere else that's not Avengers Campus. I feel like we're going to kick ourselves when we get the answer.
All right, I need answers from you too. It's enough time to mull it over.
I'm going. Mine's Midway Mania.
Sure, Midway Mania.
So excited.
Well, I'm pulling a Teresa this time. You're cutting my time short when I feel like if I could just think for long enough.
Trust me, you would have overthought it. Our third question this week is a cast member costume question.
Oh, geez.
A pair of blue slacks, kind of like jeans, make up the bottoms. On top, there's a short sleeve shirt. It's white with purple trim and a nice green accent color on the shoulders. There's also an emblem on one of the sleeves. They're definitely ready for duty.
Is that Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters?
Is it the monorail? Monorail, I think, is maroon, though.
Yes.
I'm
what
going with
is
Astro Blasters.
It might be Space Mountain, too.
Yeah.
But you said they're like jeans?
There's slacks, jeans. I'd have to see them in person again to be fully confident.
I'll say Space Mountain. And just for the record, my backup is monorail, but I think monorail's red, not blue or purple or whatever.
Our last question requires you to put some things in order. Mickey's Mix Magic starts and ends with the new song, It's a Good Time. Put the 6 songs that are heard in between in order, and I will let you choose if you need the 6 songs.
Oh, is it like half a point if you give us the songs?
No. I will still give you full credit.
Give us the songs. Give us the songs.
I want to be like... Oh. I don't... Can I get points if I know the song?
No.
Dang it.
So give us the songs. Everybody Wants to Be a Cat.
Apparently Teresa knows them.
I do. I know most of them. So we've got Everybody Wants to Be a Cat. We've got Grim Grinning Ghost.
Yep.
We've got...
What was the one you just had a minute ago from Jungle Book?
Oh. I Want to Be Like You.
Yeah.
There's also... Let me think. Coco. Un Poco Loco. That's 4. There's 6?
There's 6. Do you need a hint?
Oh, there's Friend Like Me. And...
The one that is everywhere, because everyone
Let
knows
It Go.
There you go.
Woo!
So Let It Go.
I win trivia.
Now put them in order.
Let It Go is the end.
So, is it the end?
Yes.
Okay.
Let It Go is the end.
Where's Coco?
Is probably before that.
Okay.
Loco.
And then Everybody Wants to Be a Cat is somewhere in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah, so is Friend Like Me.
Mm-hmm. So is the first thing Grim Grinning Ghost?
No.
So what's the first thing?
Maybe it's Everybody Wants to Be Cats first.
Are those the songs? Yeah, you get, yeah.
Those are the 6 songs. That is correct.
I can tell you everything about Remember Dreams Come True Fireworks Spectacular.
We were just there for this.
Yeah, but it's
Grim Grinning.
not my favorite.
Ugh, I love this show.
Like it's dancey, but I want something different and plus it's short. I want like a good 15 to 20 minute show.
Yeah, not the 10 or 11 this gives you.
Yeah. It's very dancey though. I'll give you that. Okay, what is it?
I think it's Wanna Be Like You.
Is first?
And then Everybody Wants to Be a Cat.
Okay, and then Grim Grinning Ghost.
And then Grim Grinning Ghost, then Friend Like Me, Un Poco Loco, and Let It Go.
Is that good,
However,
James?
I might be upset with myself that I started with Everybody Wants to Be a Cat. Anyways, so Wanna Be Like You, Everybody Wants to Be a Cat, Grim Grinning Ghosts, Friend Like Me, Un Poco Loco, followed by Let It Go.
And Tag, what's your answer?
Same.
Fascinating. Well, how did they do? Was the Force with them?
No.
Oh, we'll find out after this week's wonderful, maybe best ever discussion topic on this whole podcast.
Welcome to Discussion Land.
Discussion Land, yes. Yes, we are slowly invading this whole podcast.
Yes, because usually when you hear either of our voices, we're welcoming you to Trivia Land, but that's not where we are today. Today we're in Discussion Land, and we're here to wish you a happy May the 4th be with you.
Because what a special day it is.
It is. It is Star Wars Day, for those of you that aren't aware of what May the 4th could be.
Yes, and so it just made sense for us to take over. As this is posting, we are one day removed from the first event at Disneyland related to Star Wars Day. There's another one happening now, and if I remember right, there's one at the end of the month, too.
Yeah, I believe so, if memory serves.
Yeah, but
without Googling a calendar or anything.
We're not here to be the Disneyland event experts. That's taking Teresa.
That's not our job, unless it's a trivia question.
But we are here to talk all things Star Wars. And
yes.
We're going to try to keep it park related, but
yes, we'll do our best to stay as on park as possible without straying too much.
Yeah,
but sometimes we do.
We do. So
that's all right.
Let's just start at the beginning. Talk
episode
about
4.
Yeah, episode 4.
1977.
Way back when.
Yes.
How about a few years more recent?
Okay.
The first time you set foot in Galaxy's Edge. Give me the rundown.
First time I set foot, or first time that I laid eyes on?
Ooh. Whichever you're more interested in, because I could go for both.
Okay. Why not go for both then?
I love it.
Let's do it that way. All right. So first time I laid eyes on Galaxy's Edge was your house. We did the live stream of our reacting to the unveiling of Galaxy's Edge, where they were doing it live from the parks, and everybody was there. I believe Mark Hamill was there. The cavalcade of stars showed up, and they did the big gala opening, and look, we've got the Millennium Falcon here, and we've got so much going on, and it was the big massive it's all happening, and that was the first time that I ever saw anything Galaxy's Edge-ness happening at all. And that particular event, all they really showed was the Falcon and just kind of looking down in that area to what we now know to be the queue for Smuggler's Run.
Yep.
And even just seeing that, I was so excited. I was pumped. I was ready to go there, be there. I'd been in the parks recently enough to have been on the Mark Twain and to have been on the railroad and be like kind of trying to peek up and over and see what I could see.
Yeah.
So I kind of had somewhat of a clue, but you're not ever possibly prepared,
Yeah.
So that was my very first reaction to Galaxy's Edge. And then we started watching as many YouTubers and other vloggers as we could of people that were there for the press soft open, the very first people to ever set foot in Galaxy's Edge. And I was mind blown. It was everything I wanted it to be, even just seeing it that way.
It was just amazing to see it exactly like you're saying, because that's finally your chance to see something you're so passionate about and so invested in. And there's a chance that at some point you get to experience it and really feel immersed in this world that you just enjoy so much.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like it's the opportunity for so many people in so many different places. I think about my nephew who's super into Mario, so if he could ever make it to like a Nintendo Land,
yeah,
that's going to be pretty extreme for him. And for me, it was this.
Oh, definitely. Yep. Yeah, and then definitely when I got to go there myself and not be seeing it through a vlogger's eyes and not seeing it on my computer screen or on my phone screen, but to actually see it with my own eyes. That was finally, I was born in 1981, so I literally have lived my entire life having Star Wars be part of my life. Phantom Menace came out in theaters right when I graduated high school. So I actually left my high school graduation party to go see Phantom Menace in theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is commitment.
Yes. I just had to explain to my family. I was like, oh, hey, I got a half hour to get to the theater. So thank you, everybody, for coming. It's been wonderful, but I'm leaving. It's so I mean, literally, Star Wars has always been there for me. It's been just this other world that has been, I mean, Trekkies have their thing, and everybody has their genre that they're really into. When I was growing up, I had a graphic novel of The Hobbit, and I also grew up with the cartoon version of the movie The Hobbit, and I do very much appreciate, the Tolkien books and that fantasy realm. But for me, Star Wars has been the realm. That's my area, that's my thing, and to have lived my entire life having that be my thing, and then to finally set foot in a land dedicated to that world and devoted to, or a land devoted to that world and dedicated to the people that love that world, that to be able to walk there and be surrounded by it, and such an incredibly immersive place where, I mean, they went above and beyond every single little tiny detail there, making sure that land is just so, I mean, you're there. At no point do you look around and go, oh, that's California. Like once you're in Batu, you're in Batu.
Yes.
It's just amazing what Disney has pulled off with Galaxy's Edge. And that was my first impression and has continued to be my impression with every single time that I've been there since.
Yeah. I have to laugh and go back. You talk about the Hobbit cartoon series.
Sure.
So that was one of our random finds. Growing up, we borrowed it from our church.
Okay.
We figure someone mistakenly ordered it because it had Lord in the title. Because I don't think it necessarily fits within the rest of the church library. Like there was a lot of VeggieTales and other things that you kind of expect, but we were like, this is great. We want to rent this again. I think we were pretty much the only family that did, but
nice.
I loved it. But anyway, back on topic. Yeah, I'm with you. I forgot how nice that viewing was of seeing Galaxy's Edge on the screen together and all the things that they really pulled off. But for me, it was really finally setting foot, and I didn't make it to Galaxy's Edge until after Rise of the Resistance had opened as well. Right. So I never saw it in its partially completed form, even though there's probably still opportunity. And I think something that was important as Tag was really introducing me to this is he took me in through what I consider the Resistance pathway.
Yes.
So the more foresty, slower to get into towards where Rise is compared to the First Order entrance up on the other side. And I think that helped because it slowed it down. It wasn't just hello Star Wars.
Yes, very true. Which
I still love that there's the diversity between the two of the true feelings of you're on two very different sides of Black Spire Outpost and seeing everything else that's kind of around it. I think that's really smart and intentional choice to kind of be able to place it like that too.
Oh, definitely.
And all the scenery is great. It feels authentic to what I'm looking for. And as I think about it, I'm excited for the opportunities that come. We're here because it's Star Wars Day, and there's a lot that's happening at these events. And some of them that I think are really cool that's going with it is there's a lot of characters that are happening. Ewoks are popping up in Critter Country. There's the people from the Phoenix Squadron. I can't think of what that show is called. Star Wars Rebels on Main Street.
So Sabine and the big purple guy, I'm totally spacing his name. Zeb, yes, thank you.
And Ezra and Seventh Sister, maybe? Oh, yeah, you're thinking of the whole crew. I don't know if they're all showing up. Zeb was probably tough to pull off. But,
they could totally pull him off.
I mean, they probably could. But, yeah, all over the park. But the one that kind of sticks out to me is like they're
Sabine
pulling...
would be an easy one. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're not wrong. So, TV shows, she's probably going to become relevant again. But let's not get into that because that would be the whole half hour of us talking.
Definitely.
But I just love that they're integrating these character opportunities, especially the ones inside of Galaxy's Edge where you'll see Phasma and some First Order stormtroopers walking around. And so I just get excited that these are the opportunities, and I'm sad that we're here and not there. There's so many people that we could be meeting.
It's true. Yes.
On top of that, one thing I think is great is they're adding photo ops. So there's like the throne from the Book of Boba Fett, and maybe some other Mandalorian stuff related too. I know Teresa's always out there finding these photo ops. So how would it be for you to have your turn?
Yeah, no, definitely. And, I could actually see that Teresa might just walk right past a photo op and not realizing what it is. And I'd be like, oh, get back here. Come on. we got to sit down here and do this real quick.
Yep.
Although she does have a good eye for things, though, and she has watched like all of the Star Wars stuff with me. So every time that something new comes out on Disney Plus or whatever, frequently we'll have to pause, and I'll have to catch her up to speed on things. Like she hasn't caught up on all of Clone Wars or Rebels or anything like that, and so as we're watching Book of Boba, I'd have to pause and I'd be like, okay, I'm laughing really hard and you're staring at the screen blank. Let me catch you up on why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
So I'd give her a 20-minute explanation of, well, you see, this happened in Clone Wars, which led to this happening in Rebels, but you see, that ties into this here, and with that tying into this, that made this really hilarious because of this being said by this character now in this show now. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's a lot funnier to you.
It reminds me of Take explaining Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room to me.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, very much. That's why you and I are doing the Star Wars episode, and they're not.
You got it.
Yep. So
you got it.
But she does, keep up as well as she can, and she enjoys watching all of the Star Wars stuff with me. I just got to keep her up to speed on some of the other, the farther universe stuff that she hasn't been able to keep up with yet. So. Yeah. So the last one I want to ask about, because we could talk about merch or we could talk about the mug, but it's those would be cool to see, but I haven't looked enough. Is Space Mountain's Hyperspace Mountain currently? I've never ridden Hyperspace Mountain, and Space Mountain is like favorite attraction for me. Have you ridden Hyperspace Mountain? Assuming that it's the same one that I have ridden, I've ridden a Space Mountain that was TIE Fighter themed, and it was like you're in an X-Wing and you're in a TIE Fighter battle. To the best of my knowledge, that is the same Hyperspace Mountain that is going on right now.
I would assume so.
But I would need the Disney people to to really clue me in for certain. But yes, I have done a Space Mountain that was like the voices in the speakers say, "All right, we've got you in your X-Wing. We've got to get out there and protect these Star Cruisers and protect this transport from these Star Cruisers. Let's go!" And then you take off and on the coaster, and there's graphics going on inside Space Mountain where there's TIE fighters coming after you and there's blasters going by. And yes, my experience of having done that was awesome. I mean, it was, all the exact same twists and turns and everything that you get in your normal Space Mountain experience, because obviously they're not changing the ride itself, but throwing in having those, I don't know how they do it, if it's screens or holograms or how it's done. The Imagineers are amazing people and they've got skills that I can't fathom. But however they do it, the way that they get the TIE fighters chasing you through that coaster ride, amazing. So listeners, if you haven't done it yet, do it. It's a whole different experience of Space Mountain. Just because you've ridden Space Mountain, you haven't ridden Hyperspace Mountain. Excellent ride.
So Hyperspace Mountain, obviously an older attraction.
Yes.
Let's talk about the newer stuff.
Well, a revamp of an older attraction.
Yeah.
But yes,
fairness. Overlay, whatever.
An overlay on an older attraction. Yes. Yeah.
Rise is obviously the new fancy piece.
Yes.
And it's getting rave reviews. So, Vern,
well-deserved rave reviews.
Why is it so well-deserved, Vern? Explain it to us.
Well, you've written it as well.
I have, but I want to hear it from you.
You want to hear it from me? All right. Well, simple answer, why wouldn't it get the rave reviews? I mean, to anybody that has ridden Rise of the Resistance, you know what I'm saying. To anybody that hasn't had the opportunity yet, without spoiling it too much, I'm just going to say it's an absolutely amazing attraction. They took everything that one can like in a Disney attraction, being completely immersed in the ride and the atmosphere of the ride and like being in it, being a part of it. Threw in some heart racingness, some coasterness, whatnot. Got everything about like the environment, working with it, and I mean it's everything good about a Disney attraction. They did a heck of a really good job with it. I can't think of anything that, I mean, you get your thrill seekers that, they go to a Disney park and they say, oh, nothing's fast enough. Incredicoaster's the only thing that's fast enough. And even that's not that fast. Okay, those people, they have their place. Their place is Busch Gardens or Six Flags, and I respect those people and I respect the rides that those people like. And I do appreciate a good fast coaster myself, but I also very much appreciate a good dark ride and, and a well done slower ride. And Rise is technically, arguably a slower ride, but it doesn't feel like it. There is enough going on and there's so much happening. And again, to those that have ridden it, what I'm talking about. And to those who have not ridden it, I'm trying very hard not to spoil anything for you. So if I'm being vague, it's on purpose.
Right. All right, Liberty's asking, do you think that temple that Grogu's building is the same one Kylo destroyed? If I had to guess, I would say no, because I think it's too small.
No, it's totally it.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, it's one of the buildings of Luke's school.
Okay, I can buy that.
Because you can actually see it as he's building it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to have to go back and see this again.
If you watch that episode and then you watch the episode 8, the movie, and you like watch the two back to back, yeah, it's there.
Interesting.
Yeah, the building that Grogu builds is one of the buildings at Luke's school.
Today I learned.
Yep. Yeah, that was fun when I picked up on that. I mean, I had to actually rewatch episode 8 to be like, wait, oh! Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, and this is kind of me eating my words. So about 3 months ago, I asked an opinion question from Tegan and Teresa of their second favorite attraction, and I had put Smuggler's Run ahead of Rise of the Resistance.
Okay.
And this last trip changed my opinion. We were able to go on it 3 times over the trip, which was amazing. And what was really fun is the second day we went twice, basically, it almost felt back to back of how our timing was able to really work out with it. And the first time we got it with the Kylo animatronic, and the second time it wasn't working. So we got it with the alternate way that they moved through it. And I'm like, this is really cool. We're getting to see all of this in there. And so I've been able to really kind of just stop and think about how the ride does a really good job being not just a ride, but a full-on immersive experience. Kind of what was promised for Galaxy's Edge as a whole.
Yes.
And I think that's why it feels so good. Every piece, especially when you're on a ride, has good purpose, has the right amount of thrill and storytelling to it. And the pieces in the middle, I think that's kind of where I get lost a little bit in some of that wait and see time, or when you're walking through, because it's like sometimes you're rushed.
Sure.
Like with that big stormtrooper room.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes it's like, well, hold on, you gotta hang out for a little bit.
Right.
And like the pacing, I think is the only thing. But I mean, they're managing so many pieces simultaneously that's why I think it works so well.
Mm-hmm.
And my comparison always for favorite attraction is the Harry Potter ride over at Universal in the castle. And that's because that one did a really good job at quickly being immersive. The queue is fantastic.
Sure.
The ride system itself is really good, and it moves through everything really quickly at a good enough pace with all of this. And this, I think, accomplishes a lot of that in the same way without having to be just one attraction and betting fully on the castle and the nostalgia. So I think that's why it's so good.
Lee, that's a good point. Yeah, it was the robots that are the droids that are actually building the temple. Grogu just happens to be there. We've been mixing up our words on that.
See, I just got to go back and watch it all again.
Yep. Oh, no, I have to watch more Star Wars.
Oh, terrible.
That's just going to chew up my day.
Yep. And then, of course, it's the cast members that really end up making this. Them with some liberty to go into how they go and run the characters.
Amazing. Did I tell you about the... I know there's a different term that I'm completely spacing on, but basically the custodial, the janitorial man that I was speaking to.
I don't remember hearing that at all.
Oh, my goodness. He was. We were sitting in one of the eating places.
Docking Bay 7.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, that one. We were sitting in Docking Bay 7, finishing our lunch. He comes by and he's got his bus tray and his broom and the sweepy dustpan thing. And,
Yeah.
and he comes by and he's, hey, can I bust your plates for you? And I'm like, oh, well, thank you so much. We're done. Thank you. And he's busting our stuff. And he had shoulder porgs, like 3 of them on his shoulders. And I said, wow, you have 3 shoulder porgs. That's great. And he 100% in character, never skipped a beat, says, oh yeah, I've adopted these. And he goes on and on about how he lives in a spire just outside of town, and he finds these abandoned porgs and he adopts them and takes them home and nurses them. And I mean, he 100% was just in character, being a resident of Black Spire Outpost and how he lives there and he cares for these porgs when he's not working. And I was like, you're a custodian. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing. Of course, I'm not putting down custodial or janitorial or anything like that. I mean, every job is very important, and especially Disney, where they very much pride themselves on being such a clean park. Honestly, janitorial is among the the highest jobs there because they are so proud of being such a clean place. So I'm not putting down the position. I'm pointing out that those who we would look at as the lowest in a normal social structure are still going to be so in character and take their job so seriously. And that's just so immersive there in Batuu that nobody misses a beat was so impressive to me. And every shopkeeper that I would speak to, I mean, every single person in Batuu is completely in the immersive experience. Just amazing.
Ruben, I haven't been able to ride Chewy mode yet. It's definitely on my list of things to do, but every time we've gone, it's always been a little bit too rushed for us to get in there and fully be prepared, or it's just kind of a first time, or we've been paired up with other people.
Refresh my memory. I know the phrase, but I'm spacing on what Chewy mode is.
So in Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, it's a Smuggler's Run thing.
Yeah, there's like a certain button combination that I believe you have to hit before you get into the cockpit, or as you get settled in. And then I believe instead of Hondo, you're dealing with Chewy.
Oh, okay. Well, we have not done that yet. Operative word.
Yes. Oh, it's coming.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I'm with you, Liberty. Like, the first time that I sat in there, I'm just like, this is real. This is here. I'm in the Falcon.
Yes. Yeah, that was my first 3 times.
Yeah.
Now I'm just kind of old hat. But
Pulling that hyperspace lever, though, exactly like you're saying, Ruben, with Logan doing that, it's just... Yeah, that's the dream of the experience you've seen so much.
Actually, I've never gotten to do that.
Really?
I've always been left side of the cockpit.
Oh, we're going to have to fix that, too.
I know. So many things we have to do next time we're up.
Yeah, guess so.
Yep. We're just going to have to start writing down the list.
We will.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to be a day in Galaxy's Edge.
One of these times when we're out, like the 4 of us, we're just going to have to push TNT away and say, you two just go do your Disney thing. We need our Galaxy's Edge thing.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So going back to where we were.
Oh, yeah, back to the park?
Yeah. So I'm gonna use that to actually help transition to the next thing, because my question for you is what's missing in the park, and for me, that's one of the things that I'm missing out on the most between Phasma and the Troopers for Star Wars Day and just character interaction. For me, this full immersive land requires more people. Obviously, COVID has made this a lot of complicated areas for them to have to navigate it, but I really want that experience of being a person in this busy outpost with characters I recognize, cast members that are just fitting in, kind of accomplishing something here or there. And I really just, that's what's missing to me, is that last touch of immersiveness of other people interacting with me in that sense.
Sure. If I felt something missing, I would feel I want to know more about Batuu itself. Like, I've lived my whole life with the Star Wars universe, and I always joke that in episode 4, Luke says, if there's a bright center of the universe, Tatooine is about as far as you can get from it. But if you actually look at the Star Wars universe, Tatooine kind of is the center of the Star Wars universe.
Especially now.
Yeah, everything revolves around Tatooine. And if you're a Star Wars fan, you know Tatooine. And if you're a Star Wars fan, you know Coruscant. And, I mean, there's so many planets that I know so much about because I've followed Star Wars for so long. And I know these planets because I've seen these movies or I've watched these TV shows or whatever. And so I just know these planets. But Batuu I know that it's referenced in books, and I know from some brief perusal of Wikipedia that it does have more history, but I have spent hours upon hours in Galaxy's Edge wandering around Batuu, and I know nothing about Batuu. And I feel like there could be more done in Galaxy's Edge to give you more of a clue where you are, what this is all about.
We need like a storyteller in the Outpost.
Right. If there was like story hour in Black Spire Outpost or something, I just feel there should be an opportunity to learn about where you are and what's going on. To me, that's what's missing in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, be it signage or stories or things of the sort. I think that'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, some sort of clue about what's going on, where am I, how did I get here, why is anybody here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I think we could top this all off too. One of my favorite fireworks shows I saw was when we were at Walt Disney World. We were at Hollywood Studios, and they had a Star Wars themed one.
Oh, very cool.
And I'm like, Star Wars music is 100% made for a fireworks show or some sort of after dark nighttime spectacular. And I'm like, there is so much opportunity for it back here to develop something. The music's phenomenal. It doesn't have to be fireworks. It could be laser projection or something. I think it would be so cool to just have that extra experience. And I think people would be really drawn, especially for how good something could look up on the mountains that exist in the back there. Easy to take in from just about anywhere.
Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. Except they're not mountains, they're spires.
They're spires, yes.
Because they're petrified trees from the rainforest past of Batuu.
Well, thank you.
I learned that from Wikipedia.
Yeah. And now apparently we need to read the Black Spire Outpost book.
Yes.
So that way we can fully have our enriched experience.
Thank you for that, Lee. So how do you feel about Star Tours?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I love Star Tours. Yeah. I think it's generally an underrated attraction. I always feel like we forget about it when we go there and we get on it, and I'm like, I want to go 6 more times.
Oh yeah.
And I don't care if we ride the same thing over and over. It's nice when it changes so we don't always go back to back, but I feel like it's done so nicely as that first touch. The only hard part I feel like is it's just so out of place now.
I think it's only out of place because of where it is.
Yeah.
Get it out of Tomorrowland, get it closer to Galaxy's Edge. Personally, I would just pull it straight out of Tomorrowland. And I mean, I believe I've voiced my opinions about Tomorrowland anyway, that just the entire land needs a complete overhaul because it's no longer Tomorrowland, it's 1950s land. But that's a whole nother discussion topic. Right. But I would love to see if Star Tours could just be put in Galaxy's Edge, because I think it's an amazing attraction, and I always have thought so. And one of my favorite things about it is the way that they have it set up with the varying storylines, that you can literally ride it back to back to back and not do the same ride twice. That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
And the tech being such a very simplistic tech and yet still so realistic feeling and so immersive, just awesome to me.
It is. Alex in our chat has a great idea that they should have the option to ride Star Tours to enter Batuu, like you're being transported to Batuu through Star Tours.
Amazing. That would be so cool.
Somebody get Disney on the phone.
Right? Yes. Yeah. Instead of having the First Order entrance have the exit of Star Tours be the First Order. I know.
It just makes sense then because you're landing in a port instead of just
Right.
abrupt.
Yeah.
Here's our architecture. Such a cool idea.
Oh my goodness. Oh, amazing. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I like that idea. Yeah, because, I mean, Star Tours, unfortunately, it's stuck in Tomorrowland, and everything there is so dated and not, what am I looking for? It's not
up to the standards we expect.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, most of the time when we're in Disneyland, I just kind of forget Tomorrowland until somebody says, "Oh, what about Star Tours?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's over there, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Okay, we do have a reason to go over to Tomorrowland."
That's how I feel as the Space Mountain rider.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, we'll get there eventually." I'm like, "It's always the last place we visit."
Yes. Yeah, and Space Mountain. Those are my two reasons to ever set foot over there.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, totally. Yeah. Star Tours is good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah, and especially what I like about that and what I like about Rise and what they did is the queues are just very nice. Like Star Tours, for as old as it is comparatively, still feels exactly what you'd expect out of a queue.
Yes. Did I point out to you the dismantled Rexes all over the place?
I think you did.
Okay.
Off in the backside, right? Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, just the way that they kind of keep everything kind of flowing together where, it's all tied. I love that.
Right.
Mhm.
And so I asked that this was a planned question because I am a big fan of putting the Disney Play experience to use.
Yes.
You know this.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's always like, is this what I want to experience? And I have had, I would say, poor experience on the Rise of Resistance one. It's just a lot of things on the phone taking me away from people around and not really experiencing what's around me. And so I'm not so keen on that one. But I had a much better experience on Smuggler's Run, especially when we got to the viewing platform over the Falcon. Because when I think about the Disney Play experience ones that I really enjoy, it's Space Mountain and Peter Pan, because they're generally group interactive.
Okay.
And so like Space Mountain was like searching on the wall for 4-letter codes.
Sure.
And so you're looking as you're going through the queue of trying to find all of these. And Peter Pan is nice because until you're inside the building, you just get little questions or games to play with your group. Really nice way to pass time. And then you get inside and it's kind of a little scavenger hunt for little silhouettes that are somewhere.
Sure.
And eventually you get to the Tinkerbell Lantern. And when it's working, it lights up and you can see Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
It's super neat. And so for me, it's like, man, I feel like they had opportunity to really kind of make these into something. And Rise was just like, oh, we're walking through the building playing the spy. And I'm like, that's what I expect to do inside of Galaxy's Edge as a whole, not in this queue attraction.
Sure. And the Disney Play app is not something that I personally have downloaded or I've played around with much, but I've watched other people play with it. I think it's a generation gap thing going on where
the millennial in me is coming out.
The younger millennial. Because, I mean, technically we're both millennials.
Oh, that is
but
technically true.
I'm of that old millennial where I used to have to wait for my dial-up connection to work after 9 p.m. because nobody was going to use the phone anymore.
Mm-hmm,
You know, the rotary dial phone that was attached to the wall and had a 10-foot long cord so you could take it into the living room and nobody could hear you from the dining room.
Interesting, huh?
Yes. Yeah, so being the oldest of the millennials, I think technically, when does millennials start, 80 or 81?
I think it's somewhere around there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the very old millennial category. So, being in that age bracket of, yeah, I understand how apps work, and I have apps, but I'm not necessarily needing to always use my apps. I'm not always on my apps, and I can use an app, and I appreciate apps. And this last time that we were out for the wedding, my college roommate / best friend Aaron, he had the Disney Play app up, and he was going nuts with it. He loved it. He was making the Millennium Falcon spit gases, and he was making R2 do stuff, and he was just having a blast with it. And I'm looking at him going, how are we the same age? And so, I mean, he was having a blast. He thought it was the greatest app in the world, and it was fulfilling all of his dreams. So I guess maybe there's a difference in expectations of the app. I don't know.
Probably. So, yeah. Some are better than others. This is just one I'm like, oh, they have one for both here, and that's really nice.
Sure.
So,
Yep. Well, and he was, specifically, it was when we were on Smuggler's Run, and he was late catching up from the hotel, so he was waiting outside of Smuggler's Run. And that's when he was making the Falcon do things, and he was messing with R2, and that's when he was really impressed with the app. But I don't remember him saying anything about Rise. So I don't know. Maybe that was different.
is there anything else that you want to say ahead of Star Wars Day?
Are we going to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi and Disney Plus?
Oh my gosh, no, not yet. Maybe a bonus episode down the line.
Because that could be an entire episode. Yeah, good point.
Talking about all this just has me super jealous that we're not there right now.
Yes, yeah, it would be a great time to be there. But, joys of living in the Midwest. So we'll have to watch some vloggers and see how much fun they had and hear all about it from other people.
Maybe next year we make it out for one of these.
Perchance, yeah. Or the year after, or, we'll see how it goes. But until then, may the 4th be with you.
And with you.
And listeners, thank you for listening to us talk about Star Wars and Galaxy's Edge, and we hope you enjoyed.
It's okay. I'll be the only weekly tier without an answer. Make sure you send your questions to Producer James or Producer Vern at trivia@DLWeekly.net.
Wow, what a great discussion topic. From Discussion Land to Trivia Land, here I am everywhere tonight. Tag and Teresa, how do you two feel like you did?
Did okay.
Listeners at home?
I'm still thinking on that last one. I can't wait to know the song order.
And you'll just have to wait until the end for that one. Hopefully the listeners are a little more confident. Our first question came from listener Andy M. In the Haunted Mansion stretching room, one of the portraits shows a widow mourning over the headstone of her husband. What is his name? The headstone says, "Rest in peace, dear beloved George."
Yay! Nice job, Teresa.
Our second question, where are 2 places in Disney California Adventure you can find a periodic table? I'm not sure if there aren't more, but these are the 2 that I was sure of. You were right with Web Slingers, but I think you got stuck on periodic table of elements. You should have been looking for a periodic table of cars and gone to Radiator Springs Racers.
Oh,
Where is that at?
sneaky.
Inside the attraction. You just got to look along the walls.
Like in the attraction. I'm going to have to pay attention.
Where?
I don't remember 100% where.
Was it in like the spray painting area or the...
That's where I feel like I remember it best.
Fun. Okay, we'll have to pay attention next time.
Our third question was a cast member costume, a pair of blue slacks. Almost reminds me of jeans, make up the bottoms. On top, there's a short sleeve shirt. It's white with purple trim and a nice green accent color on the shoulders. There's also an emblem on one of the sleeves. They're definitely ready for duty. Star Command duty, I should say. Well done, Teresa.
Whoop, whoop.
Buzz Lightyear Astro
The one
Blasters.
you didn't jump on my bandwagon for.
Yep.
Yeah, it really seems like it's a week for Teresa.
I mean, as I've looked over, Teresa's doing much better than I am. Like this year, for sure.
Yes.
Everyone's got to have something.
At least people still say I edit the podcast well. I guess that's something.
You do edit the podcast very well. You could be editing out all of my correct trivia answers for all I know.
But then what would there be? It'd just be me answering, and they'd be like, what happened to Teresa?
You're just going to take snippets from old episodes.
There you go. You just randomly
and she's
put
gonna be
stuff
like,
in.
Cast member costume. That sounds like Splash Mountain.
Don't get me started on robot voices of things.
All right, our last question, the one that Teresa's definitely excited for an answer. Mickey's Mix Magic starts and ends with a new song. It's a good time. Put the 6 songs that are heard in between in order. The correct order is I Want to Be Like You. Everybody Wants to Be a Cat. Friend Like Me. Grim Grinning Ghosts. Un Poco Loco. And Let It Go.
So close.
What
4 out of 6 with the other 2
you
just
swapped
flipped around.
which was Grim Grinning and Friend Like Me?
Yeah.
Incredibly well done still, Teresa. Very impressed.
I listen to too much Disney music, apparently.
I request a Remember Dreams Come True question.
I don't know if you can request trivia questions.
I'm just saying.
If you want to hear that one for Tag and Teresa, then it's up to the listeners to send that one in. And we love our trivia questions from you listeners. Our email is trivia@dlweekly.net.
Well, we will be back next week with more Disneyland news and information.
Until then, go out and enjoy the parks.
Please remain seated until the podcast comes to a complete stop and the doors have opened. Then collect your belongings, watch your head, and step carefully from the episode. On behalf of all of our crew, thanks for traveling with us. And we hope you have a happy and memorable visit here at DL Weekly.